As we get closer to summer vacation time, you may be planning your travel, and our tech guy is here to tell us about the latest apps and websites that may be coming up. And Dan Thompson, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, no problem.
From Claris Networks. You guys are solving problems for people all over the place.
That's right.
Chattanooga,
that's right.
Knoxville, technology questions and problems for businesses and homes. And once a month at least, we like to get you on here to tell us
That's
about
right.
some of your things. And I love, you said you were going to talk about 3 of your favorite things.
Yes, 3 of my favorite things: technology, travel, and photography.
Excellent.
All
So
mixed into
let's
one.
do that. Okay.
So yeah, one of the things that we haven't got to talk about together yet is the fact that I love to travel. I also love to take pictures. And so my wife and I have had the opportunity to travel all over the world. And here's some pictures from here.
I love that picture. That is you on an elephant.
That is me. That is
Where
me.
Is that?
So that was in Nepal. So this is in Australia. But we've gotten to travel all over, and people all the time talk to me and say, hey, do you use a travel agent, or do you book all this yourself? How do you work that out? So typically in the past I've used travel agents, but now that I've gotten more comfortable, I will do it on my own. But there's really no right or wrong way to do it. Some people there's a comfort level associated with travel agents because they take care of everything. But for those of you that want to plan it yourself, or if you just want to know, hey, here's what my travel agent had scheduled for me, TripAdvisor.com is a wonderful website. I've been using it for years, and it's a great way to find places that you've maybe never heard of, restaurants you've never heard of, even if you're just going to be in the States. It's a wonderful website to use. However, there's a bit of a problem with it. The problem with the website is that people know how popular it is, and so they're starting to game it. And what I mean by that is last month in Glasgow, Scotland, a group of people got together. They thought it would be funny to add a homeless shelter, call it a hostel, and then they all voted it and said it was really great until it turned up in the top 5 places to stay in Glasgow.
Yeah.
So now you've got all these people showing up to a homeless shelter thinking it's a hostel. And so that's obviously not good.
Not good. No.
So
and
how do we?
TripAdvisor found out and changed it.
That's
but
right.
That could go on for a while.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So that on top of just the other random fake reviews, it's kind of hard to get a good feel sometimes as to what's a good place and what's not. So what I recommend generally is to use Twitter. It's a wonderful tool. What you can do is, if you're not familiar with Twitter, by now everybody's heard of the hashtags, which is just a little pound sign.
Right.
If you search for RTW or RTW Now, what that stands for is round the world. And believe it or not, there's people all over the world who are just quitting their jobs and traveling full time. It's the coolest thing ever. But they have likely been to where you're wanting to go. So there's a live person you can ask questions of, they'll answer them, and it's just a wonderful utility. Also, it will put you in touch with blogs. So people who have been to these places have written a lot about them, and that's a live person that you can carry on a conversation with.
That works beautifully.
Yes, yes, it's awesome.
And we have talked about blogs before, and we talked about blogs before we came on the air. Paul Barris's daughter is a tour, well, I don't know, she calls her company Untour.
Yes.
And she's in Shanghai, China, of all places.
Yeah, how cool is that?
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I was checking the website out in some of the break, and here's some pictures from that site. I mean, it's just so cool, and there's so many people doing this. Another website that I like to check out is adventurouskate.com. She is a free-spirited person, travels all over the place. Her articles can be a little racy sometimes, so probably want to keep that to the adults over 18 crowd, but she has some very insightful things, very cool restaurants she finds.
Right.
So.
And blogs can be, you can trust the blog because you can find out about the person writing it.
That's
you
right.
know who that is.
That's right.
As opposed to some of the people who might go on anonymously to TripAdvisor.
Exactly. You get to know their personalities and things like that.
But you'll still use TripAdvisor, won't you?
I will. I use that as a kind of a starting point, and then I'll verify what I've found on TripAdvisor on people's blogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way to do it too. Now, you were talking about protecting your pictures.
Yeah, so one of the things with travel we love to do obviously is take pictures. It's kind of your souvenir when you get home, right? But there's a question that I get asked a lot, which is, should I buy large memory cards for my camera, or should I buy multiple small ones? And what I do is I buy multiple small ones, and here's why. If you lose your camera, or somebody steals it, or it gets broken, you've just lost all your pictures from your entire vacation. That's a disaster.
Right.
And coming from somebody who's done that, what I recommend are these small memory cards. Keep them in a wallet like this. Keep it separate from your camera, so if your bag gets taken off your arm or you leave it on a bus, this is still in the hotel room. Other things you can do is back it up to the cloud. You can buy a device like this, which is the Sanho Hyperdrive, and what this is a backup device. So you'll pop your memory card in it, it backs it up, leave this in the hotel room safe, And then, it's a great way to keep those pictures.
Yeah.
And the challenge is these are kind of expensive. Like these start out around $300. But what you have to ask yourself is how much are those pictures worth to me? A lot of pictures that I lost from China that I would gladly pay $300 to get back. So that's just the question you have to ask.
And those take any size memory card?
They do. There's different options that will work with all different kinds of cameras, so it's a great option.
All right. I like the idea of just a lot of smaller ones.
Yes.
You could even mail those back home to yourself.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you could FedEx them or whatever.
Okay. Dan Thompson.
Yeah.
So many good things. I know. And we've learned from Molly Maids, and now we're learning from you. We're going to just have a better life because of you guys.
Well, I hope so.
I love your travel pictures. Maybe we
Thank
should
you.
bring you back for a whole hour.
We should just a travel segment.
Yeah, we'll bring your wife on with us, and
Sure.
she can tell how crazy you are jumping on that elephant. All right. Claris Networks is how you can find out more about Dan's company, and we sure do love having you guys on.
Thank you.
Every week, you and your whole crew that comes in here. We have a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
All right, we're going to be back with more David's Forecast as well as some other things right after this.
Good.